Dare to watch as we count down the most hair-raising animal encounters captured on camera, where every second counts. If there's one thing you definitely shouldn't do around a wild bear, it's trying to antagonize it further by making fun of it. This man is playing with fire by walking up to the bear and barking at it, not to mention that it's an open area so the bear can close him down within seconds, making him regret every single choice that's led to this moment. The bear isn't going to allow this mockery. And so just when the guy thinks he's in the clear, the beast springs into action, chasing him down as he frantically stumbles back to the safety of his car. Lesson learned. A woman can be seen being recorded by tourists after deciding to jump into a lion enclosure and come face to face with a lion. Avoid making sudden movements, maintaining eye contact, or turning your back to the animal to reduce potential aggression when facing a lion. The woman decides to break most of these rules by proceeding to dance while face to face with a predator that can rip her to shreds.
That's what my dad used to do.
The predator remains calm and keeps staring at the woman, waiting for an excellent opportunity to attack her as soon as she turns her back. Lions can sprint up to 50 miles an hour at impressive speeds, swiftly closing distances in brief sprints when pursuing prey. Unfortunately, the clip ends there, and what happens next in the encounter is unknown. The beginning of the video shows a tour guide calling an enormous crocodile towards a boat filled with excited tourists. The encounter can quickly go wrong with one wrong move, as crocodiles are unpredictable and very strong creatures. This, however, just adds to the excitement of the spectacle as the guide is seen playing and toying with the giant predator.
Yeah, I want to touch it. Listen, get me on this. Hurry up, hurry up. Hurry up, the tail. Hurry up, the tail. You heard that?
The whole encounter is both exciting and chilling, and is something that you should see for yourself.
What's wrong with this guy? Doesn't value life, this guy. We're gonna touch it. We're gonna touch it. Look at it. Fucking hell.
Miraculously, the show is a success, and they get to witness a beautiful creature up close. In another case, hunters grossly underestimate wildlife. These guys thought they had things covered when they headed into the woods for hog hunting with their rifles, and man, were they wrong. The hogs were too clever for the hunters' single-shot rifles, dodging the bullets and running after them. To make matters worse, the boars were determined to teach their attackers a lesson they'd never forget. Within seconds, dozens of wild boars descended upon the hunters, and all they could do was fire in sheer panic. At this moment, they probably wished they'd prepped better and brought an AR-15 to this war zone. Tourists often underestimate bears' ability to be deadly, stopping by to take photos. But if there's one thing we've learned so far, it's that these beasts are not to be messed with, even if you're in a car.
Cool as that.
The tourists stop to record a black bear, which doesn't look very friendly. The bear is keeping its distance, trying to remain hidden behind the grass.
Yeah, I'll get out there. Oh, I lost my camera.
Tourists aren't happy with the photos they've taken, though, and want to invade the bear's personal space for a closer look. which, as they soon come to realize, is a grave mistake.
Ready? Oh, there we go. Oh, shit.
Screams of fear and panic can be heard coming from tourists watching a drunk man fighting his way out after falling into a lion enclosure. Lions can display aggression towards humans, particularly in perceived threats, protecting territory, or encountering humans near their cubs or their prey. The lions try to get closer to the drunk man, prompting him to throw rocks at the predators to drive them away. The whole encounter is both adrenaline pumping and frightening, making the bystanders watch in fear and curious about what happens next. Moments later, a few bystanders call his attention, throwing a rope down for him to climb and save himself from impending doom. He successfully climbs out of the enclosure, making everybody watching sigh in relief. Many reasons why people say you shouldn't feed wildlife. This is one of them. Uploaded in July of 2013, this chilling clip shows a group of friends hanging out in shallow water with seemingly harmless little sharks swimming all around them. However, as the woman extends her hand to feed one of the sharks, this happens. At the end, the small predators can be seen swimming away as the girl still appears to be in pain. I wouldn't say that was a wise idea, was it? Tourists and locals watch in disbelief as a man climbs the fence of a giraffe enclosure to do something that could end his life.
Hey.
The man mounts the giraffe on its back, agitating the animal and eventually making it do something shocking. Giraffes are generally not considered dangerous to humans. They are peaceful and typically avoid confrontation, posing minimal threat to people. After falling, he stands back up and immediately starts climbing the fence again to show everyone he has yet to learn his lesson. Sure enough, the animal kicks him off its back again, and he hits a pole while falling, finally learning the hard way. He climbs back up the fence, but this time to go outside the enclosure. A woman jumps into a lion enclosure at the famous Bronx Zoo, talking to the lion in the enclosure as if she is not in danger.
And throwing money in the air. Officials believe she has pulled a stunt like this before. Here's Amber Cagliano.
What is she thinking?
Lions can display aggression towards humans, particularly in territorial disputes or when feeling threatened, making caution essential around them. This encounter could go wrong at any moment, as we see the woman turning her back on the predator and causing a stir in general.
Into the lion enclosure at the Bronx Zoo. Yup, she's professing her love for the king.
These actions can easily trigger the predator to lunge and attack her at any moment, but luckily for her, it doesn't. She gets out of this encounter safely, but hopefully this will be the last. People seriously underestimate the danger of elephants, and these tourists are definitely those types of people. Uploaded in May of 2014, this shocking clip starts off with a group of tourists wandering through a jungle in Zimbabwe. A short while later, the tour guide spots a wild elephant in the distance and slowly begins to approach it. After an intense face-off, the gigantic animal is not done proving its power and takes a few aggressive steps in the human's direction.
Steady, steady. What? Step. Hey, steady, my boy. Steady, 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 my boy. Steady, steady.
This prompts the tourists to step back and hide themselves in a ditch. However, the seemingly intimidated elephant fake charges them once again.
Hey, stop. Hey. Steady, my boy. Steady. Take it easy. Steady. No. Hey. No. Come on. That's enough.
The clip ends with the elephant backing off after the hunter at the front is seen attempting to calm it down. It's horrifying to think about everything that could have gone wrong during that encounter. This next heart-stopping encounter shows a group of tourists watching closely as a deranged father drags his daughter with him into an elephant enclosure. Elephants possess immense strength and can inadvertently cause harm or fatalities with their size and weight if agitated or panicked. The tourists watch in fear as one of the elephants in the enclosure gets too agitated, deciding to do something shocking.
Oh.
The man notices the elephant charging from behind and immediately runs toward the fence, only to do this accidentally. After dropping his poor daughter, he quickly picks her up as the elephant approaches closer, almost stomping them to the ground. Everybody screams in fear, and the video ends, not giving a conclusion to the frightening encounter. A shark and rough sea waters don't always go very well together, and this clip just proves it even more. Published in June of 2013, this scary video initiates with two kayaks barely staying afloat on rough waters at sea. Moments later, the fin of a hammerhead shark is visible, swimming right across the kayaks in order to intimidate them.
What's he doing?
The next few moments show the shark continuing to circle the men as their boats maintain their stability on the water surface.
I don't know. No, he's not 10.
By the end, however, everyone appears safe, as the predator seems to have swum away. I might never understand people who go kayaking in shark-infested waters. This video recording shows a man in a standoff with an angry brown bear that was camping high up in a tree.
There we go. That's the stay the away from me noise.
The intensity of the situation can be felt through the nervousness and caution that can be heard from the man's voice. The predator then proceeds to climb down the tree, which makes the man ready his rifle in case something happens.
There you go. It's gonna sting a little.
Even though the bear seems far away, it would be a big mistake for the man to underestimate its speed, as bears are surprisingly fast. Knowing this, the man decides not to risk it and proceeds to load his rubber bullet rifle. What happens next is terrifying.
Keep going.
The bear then runs away from him, ending this frightening encounter. After watching this clip, I doubt you'll ever want to go skateboarding in nature by yourself. Published in October of 2017, this creepy video starts off with a man calmly skating down a path in the middle of a forest, when he suddenly notices a bear lurking around in the distance.
Hello, Yogi. Oh. Hey, mate.
For some reason, the man decides to start slowly walking towards the predator to get a closer look. What happens next is truly horrifying.
Oh. Holy.
Many minutes go by as the bear continues to walk in the man's direction while he does his best to backtrack his way to safety. He eventually cuts the camera, and the video unfortunately ends there. I honestly hope I never have to experience such an encounter. In this clip, filmed from Russia, a large and aggressive bear can be seen trying to charge the man recording the encounter multiple times. In the video, it can be seen that the man is holding his rifle ready in case the predator decides to make a move. After the bear fails to scare him, the man decides to try something bold before considering shooting the animal. Bears are easily scared of confrontation with humans, as they have learned through time and experience that humans pose a great danger to them. The animal then gets scared of the man's advancements and decides to leave him alone. Most people think all cats are safe and innocent. They clearly have never encountered a mountain lion. Posted in December of 2013, this scary video initiates with intense howling sounds of a number of dogs that just spotted something unusual in the forest.
I'm coming. Oh my God.
As the dogs continue to howl, everyone stands there in shock as they observe the seemingly annoyed mountain lion sitting on its tree branch. And just as they thought nothing would go wrong, this happened.
Let go.
All the brave dogs immediately start chasing the cougar around the forest, and the video unfortunately ends there. Would you continue recording or run away if you ever saw a mountain lion? For a lot of people, going cage diving is their biggest dream. But for these folks, it turned out to be their biggest nightmare. Published in February of 2014, this chilling clip starts off with an underwater view of the sea being recorded by someone inside a diving cage. A few seconds in, a white shark appears out of nowhere and does this. Despite making several attempts to break the metal bars and attack the humans, the shark remained unsuccessful. By the end, the camera shows the divers rejoicing above the water's surface after successfully escaping that situation. I can only imagine what would happen if the shark got through. A bear can be seen interrupting a fishing trip of two men fishing by the river, surrounded by large trees and bushes. The predator checks the fishing rods placed on the ground and looks for anything that it can scavenge or loot. After finding nothing, it eventually gets bored and seems to switch its attention towards the two men. The large predator then proceeds to walk away, after checking them out, giving them a once-in-a-lifetime experience of encountering a bear face to face.
That was cool.
The clip starts with a man filming himself stalking a bear he encountered while wandering around a secluded woodland in Russia. The animal seems to be unaware that he is there, so it proceeds to walk away from him, enticing the man to follow it. After the man gets close enough to the predator, he proceeds to do something no one in their right mind would dare to do. Grizzly bears are among the most dangerous and aggressive animals in the wild, so it is never a good idea to aggravate one. According to the video source, the man suffered minor injuries and ran away afterwards. A mesmerizing yet unnerving experience greeted a group of tourists after they got a close meeting with a large leopard on a safari. This adrenaline-inducing clip shows a few tourists following a leopard while it's walking around, most likely hunting for prey. The predator can repeatedly be seen approaching and going past the tourists' ride, leaving the tourists both amazed and yet terrified at the same time. The encounter ends with the leopard finally disappearing into the bush, away from the tourists. To start this encounter off, a small rhino family can be seen in the middle of the road, blocking the trucks. The animal seems agitated, as it looks like it's protecting a female rhino that is nursing a small calf. Already extremely protective creatures by nature, this instinct is further enhanced when a rhino calf is involved in the situation. Moments later, one of the trucks sees a chance to pass them, and what happens next shows how these animals are the tanks of nature. Luckily for everyone in the truck, the rhino fails to hit them, leaving them unharmed. At the beginning of this next frightening encounter, a group of tourists in an open truck can be seen recording a tiger from afar. At first, everything seems to be going smoothly as they get good footage of the predator from a safe distance. Unfortunately, they fail to realize that these animals can reach speeds of 40 miles per hour, so things go south when the predator decides to hunt them. Fortunately, the tiger misses their vehicle by an inch, and they quickly speed up in order to run away from the big cat chasing them. They don't stop even after the animal can no longer be seen, which is a good idea, as second chances with these predators are rare. The clip ends with them seemingly losing the tiger and now safe from attack. This next frightening but infuriating encounter shows a man smiling as he enters a lion enclosure while his friend records him outside. The man then begins to taunt the lion, while it responds by roaring and growling at the arrogant man. Lions can swiftly inflict severe harm on humans. The speed at which they can fatally injure varies, showcasing their powerful jaws. Despite this, the predator is afraid to move, probably due to several abuses by the people managing the enclosure. Although the man probably knows this already, he is still in dangerous territory, as nothing separates him from an apex predator. The animal refuses to fight back, and the man retreats outside with a smug smile. If you thought elephants weren't capable of harming humans, you might want to think about that one again. Posted in December of 2013, this scary clip initiates with a gigantic elephant making its way towards a number of cars on the road. As the cars begin to slowly pass the elephant, it quietly moves away from the traffic. However, the last Jeep driving away seems to infuriate the animal. The elephant appears to charge at the car out of nowhere while letting out a trumpet, causing the car and its passengers to roll over. Unfortunately, this is also where the video ends, and no one knows how things played out. I honestly hope I never have to experience something like that in my life. This Florida man took on an alligator without caring for his life. And what happens next is stunning. Posted in September of 2021, this clip starts off with a man pointing a garbage bin at an angry alligator, which can be seen slowly backing away. This is when the man exerts his dominance on the predator by pushing the bin towards it and attempting to close the lid. Things finally calm down as the man rolls the garbage bin towards the lake and lets the alligator free back into the wild. Just a normal day in Florida, right? The hippo can appear like a fairly tame beast in comparison to other predators, but this short clip goes a long way in depicting its aggression. Uploaded in December of 2020, this terrifying recording shows a wild hippo fake charging at a car after noticing these people staring at it. Understandably, the car can be seen speeding away after the hippo asserts its dominance. I wonder what would have happened had the vehicle been moving at a slower speed. Video begins with wildlife creator Styrin explaining to the camera how she found a spitting cobra in her backyard. After explaining the situation, she begins to clear the area where the snake was hiding to have an easier time catching it.
So I have to be very careful because they can spit. That's why I'm wearing my safety glasses. Yeah, this might take a while.
The spitting cobra has evolved to detect the faces and eyes of primates to achieve almost perfect accuracy when spitting venom. Knowing this, Styrin tries her best to avoid getting the venom in her eyes and remains cautious.
Next, there we go. Oh, more venom. More venom! Yes, he's spitting all over me.
After a while, she finally manages to grab the cobra, but while showing it to the camera, she almost loses her life in the process.
Okay, the reason why I'm in love, with this species.
Surprisingly, she manages to dodge the attack, avoiding a fatal outcome. This encounter starts with a cage diver recording himself being circled by a great white shark that is trying to catch the bait. After a while, the predator disappears, giving the diver a few seconds of silence before this ensues. Great white sharks can swim up to 56 kilometers per hour, so it slams the enclosure with a force enough to stun the person inside. The clip ends with the shark swimming away and the divers pumped with adrenaline. This encounter starts with a man skateboarding through a narrow road when all of a sudden he is stopped by an unexpected hitchhiker.
Hello, Yogi. Hey, mate.
Instead of instantly running in the other direction, he creeps up towards the animal, but very quickly regrets his decision.
Oh, holy f***.
After this, he leaves his skateboard and starts to slowly back away from the bear that is also approaching him.
Ah!
Despite being smaller than grizzly bears or brown bears, this predator can still easily overpower him if it wanted to. Unfortunately, the clip ends without giving us a clue as to what happens next. To start this encounter off, an enormous black bear can be seen infiltrating a family garage and drinking off a metal piece on the ground. A few seconds later, an old lady walks up confidently toward the animal while clapping her hands and making loud sounds. After the charge, she tries to play it cool while calling for the black bear to leave, knowing that they are usually the most fearful of bear species.
I'm not the least bit afraid of us. Unfortunately, yeah.
The clip ends abruptly, and if they manage to evacuate the bear remains unknown. Despite its slow appearance, hippos can charge at speeds reaching 30 kilometers per hour, so it is surely horrifying when you see it running towards you. The tourists who were underestimating the speed of this fearsome bull are now filled with panic and adrenaline seeing this animal chase them. Thankfully, it stops shortly after, and they avoid a potentially gruesome encounter. Two men traveling by car encountered a snow leopard during their ride, which then proceeded to do something they did not expect. The video begins with the camera pointing to the horizon, showing the snow and the mountains, but something else is eventually revealed when the camera turns to the right. The animal proceeds to walk toward the men, shocking and scaring them both, yet they still keep recording footage of this once-in-a-lifetime opportunity. The whole encounter lasts almost 2 minutes, with the predator staying only a few inches away, inspecting them and not taking its eyes off the men.
ये हमारे एकम गांव में
Fortunately, the animal loses interest and leaves after a while. The beautiful city of Nashik, India, became a frenetic and passing hotspot after its residents spotted a large and aggressive leopard roaming the city's streets. The clip shows rescuers standing outside the gates of a house while holding a net to catch the animal roaming around the city. Minutes later, an enormous leopard reveals itself and does something truly horrifying. After successfully catching the animal, the crowd can be seen trying to beat the animal while cops and rescuers do their best to stop the aggressive crowd. Luckily, neither the leopard nor the people were seriously injured during the encounter. This next encounter, taken from a mountain biking vlog, begins with the YouTuber recording his ride on a mountain in Tibet using his GoPro. During the ride, he talks about how these trails are used by locals with pet yaks, when all of a sudden he comes across this.
Some snow patches. Oh! Yeah! Oh! looking.
Despite being friendly in nature, a yak will not hesitate to show hostility whenever it feels threatened. The sudden appearance of the biker, from its perspective, surprises the animal, so it decides to respond with aggression.
We're looking a little dangerous here. Oh, you motherfucker. Get back.
Fortunately, the animal bluffs and ultimately decides to let them through. This next terror-striking animal encounter begins by showing us a man recording an elephant from super up close while being inside his car. Moments later, the herbivore begins to approach the vehicle to inspect it, then out of nowhere decides to do this. Elephants can weigh up to 6,000 kilograms, so it comes as no surprise when the animal easily breaks the windshield of the car. The animal can be seen crushing the car without any challenges, as its weight is far greater than the Volkswagen seen in the video. Thankfully, the people inside the car were safe, despite their vehicle being nearly flattened. Everything begins with a man inside a shark cage, recording a shark circling around him, trying to get at the bait placed near the cage. Waiting for the perfect timing, the predator swims in front of the cage, and what happens next is truly terrifying. Sharks can bite with 18,000 newtons of force. Accompany that with serrated teeth, and you get a perfect tool for ripping apart meat. Good thing those metal bars are strong enough to withstand the predator's bite. In northern Botswana, a safari tour went south after a tourist encountered a terrifying leopard that did the unexpected. This petrifying encounter starts with a man recording a leopard walking closer and closer to the truck where he and his tour guide are sitting. With the predator right beside his door, the man becomes rigid as he realizes the amount of danger he is in, when suddenly the animal decides to do this. Despite the animal scratching his leg, the man remains calm and collected, refusing to make any sudden moves that could escalate the situation and make things worse.
Watch my shoe.
Stop.
He's got my shoe.
Thankfully, the tour guide decides to turn the Jeep on, scaring the leopard away. The beginning of this video shows a group of friends trying to catch a big fish by using a smaller fish as bait.
Turning. Going this way. It's right here.
Not having much luck with their fishing, one of them decides to record the experience and the scenery, when out of nowhere she captures this.
Oh my God!
Sharks are able to detect food from several hundred yards due to their incredible sense of smell. Thinking it was the end, they all laugh. But little did they know, the predator is still planning to give them one last surprise. Thankfully, no one was hurt during this frightening close encounter. In April 2018, a group of men were tasked with the burden of releasing a snow leopard into the wild after they caught it in the village of Khyber, India. At the start of the video, a group of men can be seen surrounding a snow leopard in a cage and trying to drive it out into the wild. Moments later, and after tilting the cage downwards, they successfully drive the predator out of its cage, where they then follow and record it. Surprisingly, the animal does not instantly run away from the site. Instead, it strolls, staying dangerously near the group. After a while, the leopard eventually decides to run away, leaving no one harmed. This video begins with a man recording a young bear wandering in his backyard with its mother nowhere near it.
You're not camera shy, are you? Ooh, keep that pose.
Mother bears do not take kindly to strangers interfering with their offspring, so it's always better to leave a young bear alone when encountering one. Without a mother bear in sight, the guy assumes that the young predator is alone and follows it around, oblivious to the danger.
Oh, no freaking out. You're just a little baby bear. Careful there, buddy.
Moments later, the bear decides to inspect him closer, and the man gets a taste of why you should be afraid of these predators.
Hello. Hello. No. No, no, no. You don't try biting a person. Not food.
This person is very fortunate that the young predator's mother is nowhere near. A person records a man standing near a visitor's fence in a very open hippo enclosure when he does this out of nowhere.
Oh my god.
Hippos are among the most dangerous large animals in Africa, known for their aggression and unpredictability, causing numerous human fatalities each year. After managing to jump over the fence, he slowly creeps toward the hippos who are minding their own business, just to do something hazardous. Jumping into a hippo enclosure is unsafe due to its aggressive nature, powerful jaws, and potential to cause severe harm or fatalities. After doing the unthinkable, he immediately returns to the fence's safety as the hippos continue ignoring him. Thankfully, the giant herbivores ignored him, or things could have worsened. Tigers are highly ferocious animals and do not take lightly aggressive actions by humans. Published in April of 2018, this terrifying clip initiates by showing a tiger in the distance as it strolls within the woods towards the main road. A few minutes in, though, the predator decides to take back control of its territory by chasing the poor tourists away. By the end, the Jeep has fully left the scenario, with the tiger in the distance still staring at the visitors. What do you think would have happened if that tiger got to them? Bears are never fond of humans observing them too close, so please never do what this man did. Posted in February of 2018, this video begins with a view of some bushes where these tourists seem to have spotted a black bear. After continuing to record from a distance, a man decides to exit his vehicle and record it from up close, but very quickly regrets his decision. Following this, the tourist makes a run for his life, and the video comes to an end there. I think it's fair to assume that man will never try something like that again. Here, a man can be seen interacting with a curious bear cub while doing something at the back of his pickup truck.
What are you doing, little bud? Hey, you ain't bigger than a dog.
Moments later, the bear decides to investigate deeper and get a closer look at his truck, which leads it to do this.
What are you doing? You coming up here? Well, how do you do? How do you do?
After the bear rested its paws and sharp claws on the truck, the man became cautious, worrying that the predator might climb up. Bears are incredibly great climbers and can easily climb any tree or elevated surface quickly. This, paired with the curiosity of the cub, quickly turns the encounter south, as a few seconds later, this happens. Thankfully, nothing bad happened, and he laughs it off as the animal walks away. The beginning of this video shows a small group of tourists recording themselves petting a male lion that they encountered. Lions are often more aggressive at night and more tolerant of humans during the day because of their nocturnal nature. This one, in particular, may have woken up on the wrong side of the bed, as when another tourist tries petting it, this happens. After the most terrifying jump scare of their lives, one of them quickly closes the windows while the others freeze in fear. Fortunately, the animal does not show them what it can really do. This final and most terrifying encounter starts by showing us a man in the water with a humongous alligator.
I love it. He's like a giant puppy.
Stand if you want to. Stand by the tail. Hit Elvis.
He plays and toys with the huge predator and even lets one of the tourists do the same.
You got it. Oh my lord.
Wow. There you go. Lots of love, huh, people? Now see if you can stop it from eating me. Don't count on me.
After all that, the water turns muddy, making it hard for them to see. However, the alligator has no problem seeing because of the nictitating membranes on its eyes. Despite this, the guide approaches the animal with his hand out, holding a camera, and what happens next is something you should see for yourself.
No.
Thankfully, the predator only manages to grab the camera and not the guy's arm. In this segment, a group of tourists are seen recording a tiger when out of nowhere, this happens.
He's not used to it. He's not used to it with the vehicle.
Oh my god, he's oh my god, he's gonna jump on us.
This is a very dangerous situation for them, as many healthy tigers in India have been known to attack and hunt humans. After the first charge, they proceed to speed up to keep distance between themselves and the predator, trailing them very closely from behind. The peace only lasts for a few minutes as the animal decides to show its true nature. They manage to outrun the animal with their vehicles, ending the nightmare. Filmed in India, a group of tourists are seen recording a tiger emerging from the dense forest and walking alongside them. They decide to pass it in order to keep their distance and be in a safer position to take pictures and videos of the animal. tigers are ambush predators, so it is unusual for them to show themselves when they are planning to hunt. Thinking they're safe, they lower their guard, and as soon as they stop the vehicle, this happens. Fortunately, it seems that the animal did that out of curiosity. The terrifying series of events about to occur starts with 2 vehicles filled with tourists stalking and following an elephant.
बच्चा भी देखो साथ थोड़ा बच्चे की वजह से तो ज़्यादा हो रहा है देखो 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 बेटा देखो देखो खड़े होकर देखो 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 खड़े होकर देखो पीछे ले लो
Elephants are gentle and are often tolerant of humans, but they are also very strong and fearless when angered. Unfortunately, one of the vehicles may have gotten too close to the animal, angering it and making it do this. The driver impressively maneuvers down the trail despite being in reverse, along with the pressure of an elephant charging at them. They manage to keep a good distance between them and the elephant, which causes the elephant to stop chasing them after a while. A group of motorcycle riders can be seen recording themselves passing a herd of huge elephants staying at the side of the road. Even though they could have passed the herd quickly, they decide to slow down in hopes of getting a better shot of the animals. Elephants are known to be peaceful and gentle creatures, but are extremely dangerous when disturbed. The men, having decided to disturb the herd thus, they are now left to face the consequences. The elephant fails to catch up to the riders, so it redirects its attention to a parked motorcycle close by. The clip ends with the riders laughing about the encounter and the elephant retreating. The beginning of this clip shows a group of tourists slowly approaching an enormous bison peacefully grazing on grass in Yellowstone National Park.
Oh my gosh. Oh my gosh.
Eventually, the animal seems to be getting agitated, so some of the tourists try to evacuate the area, but that only makes the beast angrier. Fortunately, the herbivore stops and leaves the group alone in the end. This next horrifying clip begins by showing a man inside a shark cage, recording his experience under the deep, dark, and dangerous ocean. While waiting for sharks to circle him, his expectations are quickly thrown out the window when an aggressive and hungry shark does something unexpected. Against all odds, the bone-chilling encounter is far from over as the large predator gets its mouth completely stuck in the cage. Unable to free itself, it starts to panic. Thankfully, after a while, the shark manages to wiggle its mouth out, swimming away afterwards. To begin this scary encounter, a small group of tourists can be seen recording a cheetah during their game drive in Masai Mara. For a while, the predator seems to be inspecting the vehicle and the people inside of it, but moments later the video cuts to reveal this terrifying sight. The curious cheetah managed to climb inside the vehicle, and surprisingly, the tourists managed to keep calm despite having a lethal hunter right behind them. After a few minutes that must have felt like hours, the animal has a sudden change of plans and starts exploring other parts of the vehicle, leaving everyone inside on edge.
Yeah.
Fortunately, the cheetah turned out to be rather passive and left the scene shortly thereafter. Filmed in Kruger National Park, these tourists can be seen recording a large elephant in the middle of the road, blocking their path. When the animal spots their vehicle, it immediately sets its sights on them and starts walking in their direction with a menacing demeanor.
Zal ik maar gewoon stil blijven staan of zo?
Ja, sta maar stil.
Holy fuck.
Luckily, they managed to put some distance between them and the giant, yet this doesn't discourage the majestic animal from proving its dominance.
Oh, moet je achter?
Holy zit er geen auto achter?
As the elephant finally steps off the road, the group tries to move on with their trip in peace, but something absolutely shocking happens.
We gaan weg, ik vind het best hier.
Nee, achteruit.
Weg hier.
Scared and terrified by the giant's actions, screams of terror can be heard coming from the tourists as they proceed to drive away in reverse, putting an end to the video. This next terror-striking animal encounter begins by showing a recording of fishermen spearfishing in the deep blue waters of Australia's Coral Sea. The clip shows one of the fishermen trying to haul a fish that he speared, while a larger fish tries to steal it from him. The other fish poses no problem for the fisherman at first, but things eventually escalate as other unwanted visitors join in on the fun. Thinking that their situation couldn't get any worse, the fisherman recording then gets the fright of his life when this happens. Surprisingly, they are able to keep calm despite the shark-feeding frenzy going on just a few feet from them. Thankfully, the frenzy ends after a while, and they are able to swim away unharmed. This terrifying video starts off with two hunters in a tree stand who had just spotted a black bear below them and quickly started recording. Moments later, the predator becomes overly curious and tries to climb up their tree, prompting them to prepare for the worst. Cautious and afraid of the black bear getting close to them, the man recording decides that he has no other choice but to pull out his bear spray and do this. After getting sprayed in the face, the animal can finally be seen running away from those hunters' tree, going as far as possible. The clip begins intensely with a silverback gorilla scaring a group of tourists by doing something extremely terrifying and unexpected. After the first charge, the giant primate does not leave the group alone and continues to harass the tourist, trying to take pictures of it.
Come this way. Don't worry, don't worry. Don't run, don't run.
Trying to de-escalate the situation, the group makes their movements as silent and slow as possible to avoid angering the gorilla further.
Is it a good time for a picture? Can I take a picture now of him?
This seems to work, and the animal starts to walk away, but it unfortunately decides to show them one last act of aggression. Luckily, it let go of the woman relatively quickly, leaving no one harmed.